this session, and in this session we are continuing with a series of the UNEB, Uganda National Examination Board Chemistry Paper 1. And today we want to focus mainly on item number 1. Many people in the comments have been sharing, saying we need more of the items of number 1 and others. So in the previous session we looked at item 2, and today we want to specifically focus on item number 1. Now, before we read through item number 1, I want us to first go through the element of construct. Where does item number 1 come from? So element of construct number 2 is where we extract the items for section A, item 1, and it says the learner appreciates application of chemistry in daily life. And the topics under this area, we have chemicals for consumers, and the subtopics under chemicals for consumers, we have detergents, which are classified into soap and soapless, medicines as traditional and modern, then food additives as natural and synthetic. We also have another topic, and this is a topic in senior 4. It is covered in senior 4, and it is about nuclear processes, where these processes are the nuclear fission and the nuclear fusion. So we want to see if a question or an item is set for number 1 section A, what do we do before we dive into UCE of this year? These are some of the things, the criteria or basis of assessment that we follow when assessing item number 1. Number 1, what to do is to identify the product and then categorize, or we give the type of that product. So we give one category of the product. Number 2, we give the function of the product or describe how the product works. In our video, we are able to look at how we can describe how the product works, especially when you are looking at that item about detergents. But now in our UCE question, we shall see how we can deal with such a question. And then number 3, we give one danger or side effect of the product or process. We explain that danger and then we mitigate that danger. And finally, we evaluate the product or the process based on the similarities and differences. Now, all these tasks, 4, task 3, task 2, task 1, it depends on the set of the item. The way they have set the item is what we follow to answer. So let's look at the item in the UNEB paper, item number 1. This is a compulsory item and it is number 1, which means a learner has no option other than doing it. So let's see. It is coming from the topic nuclear processes. And we can go through the scenario and then we see the tasks. The scenario: during the Second World War, the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan were bombed using the most lethal weapon of the time, which caused massive destruction as shown in the figure 1. However, the energy that was used can be useful in the treatment of cancerous growth in humans. Up to now, the impact of the bombing is still being felt in Japan. So this is a picture showing the effect of this bomb in Japan. Task: as a learner of chemistry, identify the type of bomb used. Then number 2, suggest any other use of the form of energy that can be used in the bomb. Number 3, explain the other danger associated with the form of energy in the bomb and give its mitigation. If you can able to see, all these are following on what to do for these items. Number 1, we categorize. Number 2, we give the function. And number 3, we give the danger or side effects. And then we mitigate. So in this item of UNEB, they have not been able to talk about the evaluation. So we shall answer according to what they have tasked us to do. Now, let's look at the scoring guide of task A. Identify the type of bomb used. So when we check on this task A, where they want us to identify the type of bomb used, so when we come on the scoring guide, so we can say, because number 1, they just want us to talk about the category, and we can just say the product used was a nuclear fusion bomb, commonly known as atomic bomb. So a learner who uses nuclear fusion bomb or uses an atomic bomb, that is still the category. And then for more details, especially for the revision purpose, we have included even the reason and even the example for this bomb. But as we know, in the element of construct, number 2, we don't need to talk about reason or giving examples. We just need to give the category of the product. So when you just give this, the bomb used was nuclear fusion bomb, we have already given the type or the category of the product that they used. This is the because bomb used nuclear fusion. This is the reason, but which is not very much necessary, especially for item number 1. Item number 1, part A, we just need to categorize as indicated in the element of construct. Go to task number 2. Suggest any other use of the form of energy that was used in the bomb. So here we just give the function of the nuclear process. The function of the nuclear process. So here we can say number 1, power generation for electricity. Power generation for electricity. There is a mark, and then we explain how that happens. So we are saying the process provides a stable and efficient source of electricity with low greenhouse gas emissions, which can be used in industries, thus cutting down the cost. There is also a mark. So a very well explained point. It can give you 2 scores. But for the case of this, the marking guide, we have added another point. But as a learner, we expect only one response or one function. So another function, water desalination, and we're saying that the process uses heat and electricity from nuclear reactors to convert seawater into fresh water, especially in arid regions. So that is the response for part B. And finally, looking at the last part, it was asking, explain the other danger associated with a form of energy in the bomb and give its mitigation. So the bomb we talked about is the atomic bomb, and we are looking at the effects of this nuclear bomb. So the first effect, radioactive contamination. So we are saying explanation, when a nuclear bomb detonates or when it is released, it releases radioactive materials that can contaminate air, water, and soil, posing healthy risks. So the danger is radioactive contamination, but when it brings this contamination, it brings about the healthy risks. There is also a mark on the healthy risks, and then this can be mitigated through enforcing strict regulations on nuclear testing and waste disposal to prevent contamination. So that one can be the mitigation. As we said, any negative impact has to move with the mitigation. How can we minimize? How can we solve that negative impact? So we can have another point for revision purposes: nuclear accidents, and explanation that accidents at nuclear power plants can release large amounts of radiation similar to a nuclear bomb. This can lead to widespread contamination and health effects. So this can be mitigated through implementing strict safety protocols and regular maintenance to reduce the risk of accidents. Yeah, so that is all that we had for item number 1. Let's not forget to inbox on this number 779380 625. And for those who have not yet gotten these books, they are already out on the market. You can order for the practical book for paper 2, and also we have this scenario-based assessment item book known as Remedy to Chemistry. We can grab for ourselves a copy. Just contact on that number, and then you'll be able to get all these useful resources. Let's not forget to like and subscribe and share, and then you tap on that bell, notification bell if you're watching on YouTube, so that you can always get current tutorials and videos in line with this. Otherwise, bless.